Hey guys, so here's an update for the sliverplay. We talked last time that I done a video about how you couldn't use the stock chimney setup the way you could with the stock top cap. So you basically were stuck with like an orchid chimney and you had to use a K-Fun top cap. But just sitting around the other night, I was like, well, maybe I will drill out a top cap to work with the chimney. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so I don't really want to do metal. It's possible to do it with metal, but I don't know. I just really didn't want to take the chance of messing up one of my metal ones because they're a little more expensive. And I actually had frosted set up that I had ordered. I believe I got it on eBay. These are like $8 or $9 for the entire thing. I got the drip tip, the chimney, and the bubble tank. Actually, that bubble tank right there probably come from Fast Tech, I believe is where it was. But you can get these eBay Fast Tech all over the place. Just get the clear K-Fun 3.1 set up, the entire clear setup. It'll probably come with the chimney too. You just trash that. Or use it for another, whatever, if you have a K-Fun, another K-Fun. But what you do, I kind of wish I had done it on video now because I don't really have another one to do it with. But I went and I bought a step bit, and I've had this for a while. It come from Harbor Freight, I believe. They're cheap. I mean, you can buy all three of them for, I think it was $13. So what you want to do first is this 5/16 right here. You probably, maybe able to see that. 5/16. You want to take the 5/16 and you want to drill through, after you take 3.1's this piece, you can unscrew, like the part in your drip tip right here. Like, on almost all the 3.1's, this unscrews. So you want to unscrew that little piece that protects your threads out. You have to be really careful when you drill it because you want to mess some threads up. So you're going to go through it, through the top, this way, to that 5/16 mark. Or if you use a regular drill bit, that's fine too. The step just makes it easier. But you drill it all the way through, almost. And then you go through the bottom and you do the same thing. You're going to drill it all the way through. So you're going to make a clean hole all the way through it. You might want to turn your drill in reverse and run it in reverse a couple times too to get all the burrs and stuff cleaned out and try to make it as smooth as possible. Because you really don't want to go back in there with a Dremel or anything. These plastic top caps will melt like teetotal hell if you get them too hot. So you have to be kind of slow, be patient with it. It's going to catch a little bit. You want to run your drill at like a medium speed, go in from the top cap, back out, flip it over and do the same thing. And then you might want to run it in reverse from both directions again just to clean it out a little bit. Alright, this is where the fun part starts. That still isn't big enough. 5/16 will not clear that, won't clear the chimney itself. It'll just clear, the only thing it's going to clear is just the size of the hole at the top of the top cap. This little metal part right here, that's 5/16. That's how big the chimney is, like the outside diameter of the chimney, but just to the bottom of the or just to the top of the threads. So there's threads on that chimney too. You might kind of be able to see the threads. The threads aren't touching anything in that tank right now at all, other than the O-ring. And I'll get into that in a minute. But what you do is this 3/8? This 3/8 right here. You don't want to drill all the way through your top cap with 3/8. It's going to leak like hell. What you want to do is you're going to have to be really careful with it and have to do it a little bit at a time. I actually used a set of calipers and mic'd it out to get exactly what I needed and taped it off with a piece of tape on my drill bit. But it's, I mean, very minute. I mean, you're talking maybe 2 millimeters, not even 2, maybe 1.5, 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters probably about where mine is, and that might be a little bit too far. You want to drill from the inside of the tank out towards your drip tip with that 3/8. And when I say just a little bit, I mean just a little bit. I mean literally like that much of your bit needs to go through the top cap where you've already drilled. And that's why I said you need to go in from the top and the bottom if you're using the step bit, because you will blow all the way through it before you get through the entire part of the top cap. But then what you do is that chimney has got like the hole, and then there's threads. So you've got like the hole at the top, and then a small shaft section, and then threads, and then another shaft section that gets bigger as it goes down. So what you want to do is take one of the O-rings out of the pack, that little pack of goodies that I showed you that the sliverplay comes with. There's a little bitty black O-ring in there. I'm not exactly sure what it went to before, but there's a little bitty black O-ring in there, and it's perfect. You slide it down over top of the chimney till it hits the threads, and as soon as it hits the top of the threads, you stop it right there. So your O-ring isn't on your tank anymore, your O-ring's on your chimney, and it's perfect that way. That's the way you want to do it. You just slide the O-ring down onto the chimney. You might be able to see yeah, you can see it in there. The O-ring is right in there. But what you basically do is you just slide it down over the shaft and then thread it all together like you normally would. And the airflow is wide open. You can see the stock chimney. That's huge. You can actually see the screws inside there on top of my deck. I've been running this at 25 watts, just chill vape. And we ain't even started to open this thing up yet. I'll run it up to 40. 40 watts on a 0.3 build. Yeah. Much better. No dry hits. I'm running a 70-30 right now. High VG juice from Dragonmouth Vapor. They're awesome. Shout out to Captain Vapes if you watch this. I doubt you'll see it, but you know, shout out to Captain Vapes anyways. Dragonmouth Vapor's awesome. This is Dragon's Maiden. It's really good. But one more toke, then we'll call it a day. Just putting out, whew, taking my breath and putting out like a champ. It's good. Completely happy with this now. You can run it up to about 50 watts with this setup, 55, like the guy mentioned in the comments of my first video, without dry hit, and it runs really well. 40 watts is where I like it if I want a lot, and 25 to 30 is where I run it. But it really is as close to dripping as you can get right now. I like it this way. Like I said, though, it's still up to you. I'm not sure if it's worth the money to waste on it, to have to actually do something to enjoy it. But if you've got the time and got the money to spend 40 bucks and then spend another 10, and you want an awesome vape, it is awesome. I'll give it that. A little bit of a headache, but now that it's set up and it's running the way I want it, and it's exactly the way I want it, it's hard to complain, other than it's still going to be a pain in the ass to fill from the bottom. But with the needle bottle, it fills right up. You've got way more room in the stock configuration, and you don't have to worry about it blowing freaking juice everywhere. So you're still bottom filling it, but I'm probably fitting 4 to 4.5 mils in there right now. Actually, 4.5, at least 4.5 mils in there right now. I'm running for hours without having to refill, so not that big a deal. Like I said, I was a K-Fun user, so I'm used to bottom filling all the time anyway. Possibly even be able to top fill it if you watch what you're doing, and you know how to do that, like orchid style. You flip it over after you get it threaded up, and then you finish it off to tighten it in. Hadn't tried that with it yet. Probably won't. I'll just keep bottom filling it. But there you go. If y'all got any questions, let me know. And that's working awesome. See you later. Peace.